Hello everyone, I'm back. Want to show you how the seams came out on the Big G, Mr. Godzilla. First we're going to start with his body. Okay? Now if you remember, what I did is I took Mr. Surfacer 500 and stippled it all along here. Alright? Now let's take a zoom in on this, because you're not going to see it very well from way back there. And of course my camera wants to focus on, there we go. Now, the silver paint is just to provide contrast so I can see what's going on. Like, it tells me I'm not done with the top of his head. I need to fix that a little bit because there's a nice solid seam line going down the center of his top of his head. His nose needs a tiny bit more work, and so does his upper lip. But when I look at that body right there, and the way the lighting is coming in here, let me zoom that out a teeny bit. There we go. Actually, that's in some. You can see that I've got that seam pretty hidden. There's a couple of spots where it's shining through, like right in here. But a little bit more dotting with Mr. Surfacer, and that's going to hide. Down here I was worried about the seam showing, and it really doesn't show here at all. I'm going to have to do a little bit more carving with my knife. That's okay. Disappointment. Seam is showing here still. So I'm going to have to fix that along there. But then again, I put the Mr. Surfacer on here and never sanded that down, so I'm not surprised that you can see in the line along there. I never tried to clean up that seam. What I was testing though was along here, and to me that is pretty gone on the top of his head, and that is nowhere near gone. We're gonna have to fix that. So moving on from there, let me put body aside. Let me get the tail next, because this tail makes me happy. Let's zoom in on the tail. And you know, when I look at that, I mean, there's some spots where it needs a little bit of teeny work, like right along there. But when I look at that tail, I really don't see a seam. Much. Okay, yeah, I do see it right here. But without the zoom on the camera, I don't see it. The camera picks up things your eyes don't. They always do. So a little bit of sanding to remove some of that. And again, my eye doesn't really see much of a seam there. I see just lots and lots of textures. And keep in mind, this is silver reflective paint, and this guy is painted with a flat tan paint. Okay? So I'm pretty happy with the way the seam work's coming out on that. I have to fix some seams along the bottom yet, but that ain't too much. That's nothing compared to what I've been doing. Okay, let's get one of his hands. So right here we have one of his arms. Okay, I think that's coming out really well. I don't really see much of a seam there anymore, nor along there, nor there. I have to do a little bit of work with that palm, because I'm not happy with the way that palm's coming out. Oh no, this is a good palm. You'll see the one I'm not happy with in a minute. Let's get the one I'm not happy with. Actually, that one looks pretty good too. I don't know, I must have been smoking crack when I looked at it. There's his arm, the other side of his arm, the underside of his arm, the top of his arm. I'm pretty happy with how these seams are coming out. You really don't see much of them. One of his legs. The other side. Again, you can see it in a few spots here and there, but that's why I put the silver paint on, so I can hit them and fix them. I think this one's coming out pretty well. Other leg. Now this one needs a teeny bit of work right up in here. I'm thinking I'm getting that down just right, which means as soon as I get a few things fixed on his head, we don't need a huge view of my head. As soon as I get a few of those fixed, just a teeny bit of that fixed, I'm ready to put him together. That's a good thing. Okay. One other thing, since I'm kind of counting Mothra as part of this, I have been working on Mothra a teeny bit. I'll admit, I only work on Mothra when I've got like 5 minutes left of my modeling time. So she's not getting a lot of work, but let's show you what I've done with the seams on her. Okay, for once my camera's focusing the way it should. Yeah, up near her tail, the seams are gone. Up near her head, they aren't. Okay, Mothra is the worst part of this kit because it's a little bit like the 747 along here. A little bit of different surfaces. Mouth details are just completely gone on Mothra. I'm going to have to recarve them in or something. And I've worked a little bit across the front of the head and it shows because there isn't much of a seam there. The bad spot's going to be in this little divot right here. Getting that seam correct on this divot's going to suck. Okay? And the underside of the mouth's bad. But anyhow, Mothra is coming along. I'm getting her. Okay? So, up next, my molding compound came in. I'm going to reach over here and get it. One of the guys at Scale Model Addict recommended I get some of this stuff. It's a Japanese molding compound. It's for making molds. Okay, I haven't opened the package yet. Teeny little package, has 6 sticks. I got this from a US seller, but most of the sellers are in Japan. I paid a little bit more because it's a US seller, but I paid a lot less in shipping, so it's about the same price. Okay, what you do is you heat this stuff up in water, pull it out, and then make an impression with your object. And when it cools down, it becomes very rigid again. That way you can pour some casting compound in there, like some resin, plaster of Paris, or in my case, I'll probably just press some Aves in there to get the shape that's almost cured and then pull the Aves back out. I need this to make some feet with so I can start working on diorama. I'm also waiting on getting 2 movies to make the diorama with. I'm using the diorama as an excuse to buy movies. Shame on me. I want to buy. Their 2 movies are Monster Zero and gosh, I forgot what the other one was. But anyhow, there are 2 movies that these 2 guys fought in that were fairly close in date to each other. I think I said this in an early one, I found out why King Ghidorah and King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah, which is the model kit I'm building, is for the first like 5 movies. King Ghidorah is for all the rest of them. They changed his name when they started up the new model set. But anyhow, oh, one last thing. And then I'm gone. Okay? I've been painting his mouth. It's not done. I got his 2nd layer of paint on there today. I'm going to do another layer, maybe 2 more layers, just increasingly lightening the paint layers until I get it to where I want. Because mouth, they are about, well, they're kind of pinkish. That's reddish. I gotta fix that. Okay? But other than that, it's getting there. Once the mouth's painted, I can put it on him and then mask it off. I can paint the teeth later because, well, they'll show through, and I gotta paint his fingernails and toenails the same color as his teeth, so that's fine. I can paint the teeth later, but I gotta get the mouth painted before I can glue it on. So that's what I'm working on. That's where I'm at with this thing. I will be back once I get the molding compounded, heated up.